My name is Maria Five. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. Welcome back to my channel if you're not so new here. And I am here today with a book and a tea and a make. So without further ado, let's get started. So the tea here I have is, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, okay. So it's fairly dark. It is reishi mushroom, organic. Oh, let me just switch that over. There you can see without the light being too blindy. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Reishi mushroom, organic, and it is used to support the immune system. And one tea bag you steep for quite a while, 15 minutes, I believe. 10 to 15 minutes. So it's not a fast process, but it's really tasty. I haven't added anything to it, but you certainly could. But especially, as winter dwindles down, we definitely need help with all our immune issues. Yeah, spring will get here eventually, even though it's officially spring. Anyway, all good, all in its good time. So the make today, I have made these earrings, and they are what I would call chandelier style earrings. You can see in there, and they are just pink quartz beads on the bottom and sterling silver, and they're really pretty. They're large. They take up room. So I would never dream, just like these ones, made by kind of a lost friend of mine, Kim Ruby Moon. She made these. But yeah, these ones, same thing. I would never dream of wearing them if I was wearing my hair up. I think you need the length of the hair to pull them off. So if you really have short hair, I don't think they'd be good. Just my humble opinion. But yeah, I feel like there needs to be a bit of balance. So, okay, the book today is called Haunt Your Heart Out. It's by Amber Robert, was published in 2024, relatively new. And it's a romance. It's a really delightful romance. And it starts off, of course, with two people that are just not going to be a couple. I pretty much am sure that every single romance in the world starts off like that. I haven't read that many of them, but from what I have read, it's not my genre of choice per se, but I like to have this sort of well-rounded reading list. So yeah, it's, in my opinion, a rather typical romance. So Lex McCall, she is the protagonist, and she owns a bookstore. You can see where I was intrigued there. Not owns, my bad. She is a paid employee in this bookstore, small town, and there's a lot of skiing. It's in Vermont, and there's a lot of ski. It's a sleepy Vermont town. That's how it's described, and it's a ski town in winter, and so there's a lot of tourists. And she knows better than to really get involved with anybody. I live in a small town too. It's a beach town. And so it gets really crazy in the summer. But yeah, you wouldn't get involved with someone that was just going to be, and that's her rule. No, nothing, no, nothing. So she, a while ago, was in high school, and she had a YouTube channel way before YouTube became really big. And she coined herself as Luna, and she was talking about hauntings in this small town. So she has her best friend, Melanie, and Melanie is the camera person. I was going to say cameraman. Our language is so steeped in this, isn't it? Melanie was her camera person, and they would go out and they would talk about hauntings. And a lot of their stories weren't 100% legit. There was a little bit of fudging, a little bit of tampering, shall we say. But it made for good following, and it was apparently a bit of a cult way back when. So, and I'm talking 2006. Like, I didn't even know. I'm pretty sure I didn't even know about YouTube back then. It was, I think, my son actually that got me into it. Maybe a little bit later than that, but yeah. Anyway, complete sidetrack there. Okay. So, she's making YouTube videos haunting her town, and there's this guy that comes into her bookstore, and you can tell there's a little bit of flirtation, there's a little bit of dynamic, and he leaves. And it turns out he and his friend are part of a team, and they are professional, and they are making a video for hauntings all around. And of course they had to come check out this town. She doesn't realize that. She just figures he's a brush off and doesn't realize he's actually going to stay in town a little bit longer than she originally anticipated. So he asks her out, and she says, no. And then she has a very complicated relationship with her parents. And so she gets this phone call, and her parents are demanding that she meet them for dinner at this restaurant at this time. And then she's like, well, and then she was talking to her friend, Melanie. Well, not if you had a date. So she calls this guy and says, hey, want to go on a date like tonight? And you kind of feeds him a little bit. But of course he agrees, because he's the one who originally asked her out, and she turned him down. So they go on this date and realize they have a little bit in common. She has an alibi for her parents, and that's the end of it, except that it isn't, of course. So things go along. They start to hang out together. She's falling for him. And she ends up her parents decide that she's coming for Christmas. She's already said no. She can't afford it. She has her home that her grandfather left her that needs a lot of work, a lot of repairs, and she just doesn't have the money. And so her parents basically send her 2 tickets for her and her new beau to come for Christmas. And so she's telling him, saying, but you gotta know, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh no, I'll come. And he's charming. He is a charming person. He's got that something that just attracts people to him. So they end up going, and she has a very complicated relationship with her parents, and a lot of it just gets dispelled. And of course, then there's this rift in her relationship. It's really heartfelt. It's really moving. Believable. I can see things like that happening if you have a difficult relationship with your parents. And it's not even a question of not wanting to reconcile. You don't even know how. It's beyond you. Reconciliation is it's so not even part of the equation. So it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. I don't have to tell you how it ends. Yeah, but it's an interesting, it's a cute novel. It's cute. It's sweet. And yeah, it's a good read. It's not hard. It's not a hard book to pick up. It's not a hard story to follow. It's just a nice story. So if that interests you or intrigues you at all, thank you so much. Please like, please subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below if you agree with me. All right. Thank you for joining me. We will see you again next Saturday. Bye-bye.